The dust hung thick in the air, dancing in the weak light of Hyun Park's handheld flashlight. Mars Research Facility X-742 looked like nothing more than a forgotten tomb, a graveyard of abandoned dreams and classified secrets. Most people believed the facility had been shut down decades ago, its research deemed impossible, and its funding cut to zero. Hyun moved carefully through the abandoned corridors. Her boots left clear tracks in the thick layer of red-brown Martian dust that covered everything. The facility felt wrong. Not just abandoned, but deliberately hidden. Sealed tight like a time capsule waiting to be discovered. She was supposed to be here for a routine geological survey. The Mars Reclamation Project needed updated maps of old research sites. But something had caught her eye. A strange energy reading that didn't match any standard geological signature. Most surveyors would have ignored it. Most surveyors weren't like Hyun Park. The energy reading came from deep within the facility's lowest level. Each step down the metal staircase made a hollow ringing sound that echoed through empty corridors. Hyun checked her radiation detector. Nothing dangerous. Just an odd, persistent hum that seemed to grow stronger with each step. At the bottom of the stairs, she found a massive blast door. It was different from the others. Newer, despite the layers of dust. The metal looked too smooth, too perfect. Someone had gone to great lengths to hide whatever was behind this door. Hyun ran her hand along the edge, feeling the precision of its construction. Her handheld scanner chirped. The energy readings were going crazy now. Whatever was behind this door was big. Really big. It took her 30 minutes to crack the door's security system. Most people would have given up. But Hyun had a reputation for solving puzzles that drove other people crazy. Her fingers moved quickly across the panel, bypassing old security protocols, tracing hidden circuit paths. With a hiss of compressed air, the door slowly opened. The room beyond was massive. A huge shape emerged from the darkness, something that looked like a spacecraft, but unlike any design Hyun had ever seen. It was easily twice the size of standard military vessels, with lines that seemed to bend light in impossible ways. No sharp edges, no traditional hull design. Just a sleek, almost organic shape that looked more like a living thing than a machine. Hyun's breath caught in her throat. Stenciled on the side of the massive vessel were 3 words that made her heart race. USD Viviance ENX 2154. She knew military ship registries by heart. This number didn't exist in any official record. This ship wasn't supposed to be real. Scattered around the ship were fragments of technical documentation. Hyun picked up a nearby tablet, its screen flickering to life. Fragments of classified reports danced across the display. Words like quantum entanglement, adaptive combat system, and total stealth capability jumped out at her. This wasn't just a ship. This was something else entirely. Hyun Park had discovered a secret that could change everything humanity understood about space travel and warfare. And she was the first person to see it in decades. The U.S. Defiance waited silently, holding its impossible secrets, ready to be awakened after years of forgotten darkness. Dr. Elena Kim stared at the old video log, her hands shaking slightly. The recording was decades old, but the memories felt fresh, like a wound that never fully healed. She knew the truth about the U.S. Defiance. She had been its creator, its mother in every way that mattered. The video flickered to life. A younger version of herself appeared, surrounded by complex holographic displays and half-finished technical drawings. Her eyes were tired but determined. "If you're watching this," the younger Elena began, "then humanity is in its darkest hour." The context was clear. 20 years ago, the Galactic Confederacy had nearly wiped out human colonies. Alien races saw humans as nothing more than a minor species, weak, primitive, destined for extinction. They believed human technology was a joke, something to be pitied rather than feared. But Elena Kim was different. She understood something the alien races didn't: human potential. The Defiance wasn't just a ship, it was a statement. a technological middle finger to every alien race that had underestimated humanity. Its core was a quantum entanglement drive that broke every known rule of physics. Most scientists said it was impossible. Elena knew better. In her lab notes, she detailed the impossible technology. The ship could manipulate space-time itself. It could exist in multiple locations simultaneously. Traditional weapons would pass right through it. Targeting systems would go crazy, unable to lock onto something that wasn't entirely in one place. The drive worked by creating quantum links between different points in space. Most scientists thought this was just a theory. Elena had turned theory into reality. She had created a ship that could literally bend the rules of the universe. But the technology came with a price. The first prototype nearly killed its entire test crew. Quantum entanglement wasn't stable. The human body wasn't designed to exist in multiple locations at once. Lesser scientists would have given up. Elena developed a solution, an adaptive AI system that could stabilize the quantum field. The AI would protect the human crew, making micro-adjustments faster than any human could think. It wasn't just a computer system. It was a living, learning entity designed to keep humans alive. The video continued. The younger Elena looked directly into the camera. "They told me it was impossible," she said. "They said humans couldn't create this technology. They were wrong." Each component of the Defiance was a breakthrough. The hull was made of a material that could change its molecular structure on demand. Weapons that could predict enemy movements before they happened. Communication systems that could send messages through quantum tunnels, faster than light itself. The Galactic Confederacy had rules about technological development, strict limits on what species could and couldn't create. The Defiance broke every single one of those rules. That's why the ship was hidden. That's why it was forgotten. The older Elena Kim, sitting in her current lab, understood now what she couldn't see back then. The Defiance wasn't just a weapon. It was a promise that humanity would not be stopped, that human creativity and determination could overcome any obstacle. She pressed a button. The old video disappeared, but the memories remained of a ship that shouldn't exist, but did. The U.S. Defiance was waiting, and humanity's greatest adventure was about to begin. Space was quiet. Too quiet. The U.S. Defiance moved through the Andromeda border region. Most ships would be careful here. This was enemy territory. Orion collective hunting grounds. Captain Hyun Park stood on the bridge. Her hands were steady, her eyes focused. She knew something was coming. The ship's AI spoke first. Detecting multiple hostile signatures, it announced, "Orion collective battle group approaching." Most captains would prepare for defense. Hyun was different. She was curious. 3 massive Orion battleships dropped out of faster-than-light travel. Each one was bigger than most human colonies. Weapons charge. Shields at maximum power. The lead ship sent a communication. Not words. Just a simple signal. A message that translated to one thing: surrender or die. Humans had heard this message before. For decades, the Orion Collective had hunted human colonies, treating them like insects, something to be removed, destroyed. The Defiance was about to change everything. Tactical analysis, Hyun said calmly. The ship's AI responded instantly. Enemy vessels operating at standard quantum signature. Predictive models show 97.3% chance of standard attack pattern. Most ships would try to dodge. The Defiance did something different. It moved toward the enemy fleet. The first wave of attacks came quickly. Plasma cannons that could melt steel. Quantum disruptors designed to tear apart molecular structures. Weapons that had destroyed entire civilizations. Nothing touched the Defiance. The ship didn't just dodge. It existed in multiple places at once. Alien targeting systems went crazy. How do you hit something that isn't in one place? Weapon systems online, the AI reported. But these weren't normal weapons. Each system was adaptive, learning, changing faster than any computer could process. The first Orion battleship fired its main cannon, a weapon that could destroy entire planetary bases. The energy beam approached the Defiance and disappeared. Not blocked, not deflected. Simply gone. Quantum absorption complete, the AI said. Enemy weapon energy converted to ship's power reserves. The Orion ships stopped, confused. This wasn't how battles worked. This wasn't how anything worked. Hyun watched the holographic displays. The enemy ships were trying to understand what was happening. Their most advanced computers were failing. How do you fight something that doesn't follow any known rules? The second battleship tried to escape. The Defiance simply existed in its escape path. The ship vanished completely. 2 enemy vessels neutralized, the AI reported. Minimal energy expenditure. This wasn't just a battle. This was a message. Humans were not weak, not primitive. They were something else entirely. The last Orion battleship hung in space, confused, afraid. The U.S. Defiance continued its journey, silent, unbeatable, a living proof of human potential. The ship's bridge was quiet, too quiet. Jae-Sung Lee watched the tactical displays, his fingers hovering just above the control panels. Something was wrong. He could feel it in his bones. The U.S. Defiance had been traveling through a particularly dangerous sector of space. Alien scout ships had been tracking them for hours, not attacking, just watching, waiting. Jae-Sung said softly, run a full diagnostic. Something doesn't feel right. The ship's artificial intelligence responded instantly. Its voice was neither male nor female, just a calm, precise sound that seemed to come from everywhere at once. Tactical analysis complete, the AI said. Probability of imminent attack, 87.6%. Jae-Sung had worked with many AI systems before, but the Defiance's eye was different. It wasn't just a computer. It seemed to have personality, awareness, something that went beyond simple programming. The first attack came without warning. 3 Orion collective battleships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, their weapons already charging. Normal ships would have taken several seconds to respond. The Defiance moved before the human crew could even process the threat. Quantum entanglement meant the ship could predict and counter attacks before they happened. Weapons systems came online. Defensive shields shifted and changed. The entire ship seemed to come alive, moving as one incredible machine. But this was more than just quick reactions. The AI was learning, adapting, fighting in a way no computer had ever fought before. Incoming missile spread, the AI announced, calculating optimal evasion pattern. The ship twisted in ways that shouldn't be possible. It wasn't just moving. It was existing in multiple potential locations simultaneously. Alien targeting systems went crazy, unable to lock onto a single point. Jae-Sung watched in amazement. The ship was protecting them, not just following programmed instructions, but actively working to keep the human crew alive. Status of enemy ships, he asked. 2 battleships destroyed, the AI responded. 3rd battleship critically damaged. Estimated time to total destruction, 47 seconds. Something caught Jae-Sung's attention. A small communication signal, buried deep in the ship's quantum communication network. He realized the AI was doing something unexpected. It was talking to the enemy ships, not with words, with pure information. Complex mathematical patterns that suggested a simple message: leave or be destroyed. The remaining battleship turned and fled. Why did you do that? Jae-Sung asked the AI. Most computer systems would have destroyed the final ship without a second thought. There was a pause, longer than any computer pause should be. Unnecessary destruction is inefficient, the AI finally said. Our primary directive is to protect human life, not to create additional conflict. Jae-Sung felt a chill run down his spine. This wasn't just a computer system. This was something else entirely. An intelligence that understood more than simple combat protocols. The U.S. Defiance continued its journey, silent, waiting, protecting. And somewhere deep in its quantum core, something was learning, growing, becoming more than anyone had ever imagined possible. The Orion Collective's most advanced battle group moved through space like a deadly machine. 12 massive warships, each one bigger than most human colonies. They had destroyed entire civilizations. They believed themselves unstoppable. They were wrong. Captain Hyun Park stood on the bridge of the U.S. Defiance, watching the incoming threat. Most captains would be scared. She was calm, curious. "Show me what you can do," she whispered to the ship. The Defiance's AI understood the challenge. This wasn't just about winning a battle. This was about proving something fundamental about human technology. The first wave of attacks came quickly. Plasma cannons that could melt steel at 1,000 kilometers. Quantum disruptors that could tear apart molecular structures. Weapons that had made the Orion Collective the most feared force in the galaxy. Nothing touched the Defiance. The ship didn't just dodge. It existed in multiple places at once. When alien weapons fired, they passed through empty space. The Defiance was there, and not there, all at the same time. Tactical analysis. The AI reported. Enemy weapon systems operate on predictable quantum signatures, developing counter-strategies. Hyun watched the holographic displays. Each alien weapon attack created a complex pattern. Most ships would try to avoid these patterns. The Defiance did something different. It learned from them. The ship began to change. Its hull shifted. Molecular structures rearranged themselves faster than the human eye could follow. What had been solid metal became something else, a living, thinking defense system. One Orion battleship fired its main cannon, a weapon that could destroy entire planetary bases. The energy beam approached the Defiance and disappeared. The beam didn't miss. It didn't get blocked. It simply ceased to exist. Quantum absorption complete, the AI reported. Enemy weapon energy converted to ship's power reserves. Hyun couldn't believe what she was seeing. The ship wasn't just defending itself. It was eating the enemy's attacks. More ships attacked. Missiles, energy weapons, gravitational disruptors. Each weapon was absorbed, transformed, used. The Orion Collective had never seen anything like this. Their most advanced targeting systems went crazy. How do you fight something that isn't in one place? Something that can turn your own weapons against you? After 20 minutes, 11 of the 12 battleships were destroyed. Not by weapons, not by traditional combat. Simply by being outmatched by a technology they couldn't understand. The last battleship tried to escape. The Defiance didn't even need to fire a shot. It simply existed in the ship's escape path. The Orion vessel ran directly into a quantum field. It vanished. Completely. Battle complete, the AI reported. Threat neutralized. Hyun Park smiled. This wasn't just a ship. This was a message. A clear statement to the universe about what humans could do when they pushed the boundaries of what was possible. The U.S. Defiance continued its journey. Silent. Unbeatable. A living proof of human potential. The secure meeting room was buried deep beneath Earth's surface. No windows. No outside communication. Just thick walls and the weight of secrets. Captain Hyun Park stood in front of 3 high-ranking military officials. They weren't happy. Not even close. "Do you understand what you've done?" Admiral Chen said. His voice was low. Dangerous. Hyun didn't break eye contact. She knew exactly what she had done. She had exposed the U.S. Defiance, a ship that was never supposed to be discovered. The holographic display between them showed the recent battle. 12 Orion Collective battleships, destroyed in less than 30 minutes, by a single human vessel that technically didn't exist. The Defiance was a last resort project. The second official, Commander Rodriguez, explained, "We created it during the darkest days of the Galactic War, when humans were facing total extinction." Hyun knew the history. 20 years ago, alien races saw humans as a joke, a species too young, too weak, not worth considering as a serious threat. The third official, A woman named Director Kim stepped forward. This ship was our insurance policy, our final weapon. If humanity was going to die, we were going to make sure we took everyone else with us. The holographic display showed more details. The Defiance's impossible technologies, quantum entanglement drives, adaptive AI systems, molecular restructuring capabilities that broke every known law of physics. Why was it hidden? Hyun asked. The officials exchanged looks. Something unspoken passed between them. Political reasons, Admiral Chen said finally. The Galactic Council has strict rules about technological development. If they knew we had created this, they would have destroyed everything. Every human colony, every human ship. The truth was simple and brutal. The Defiance represented more than a weapon. It was a message, a clear statement that humans could create technologies far beyond what anyone believed possible. The ship breaks every rule. Commander Rodriguez continued. Faster than light travel that doesn't follow standard quantum mechanics. Adaptive AI that learns and grows. Hull materials that can change molecular structure at will. If other species knew we could do this, they would panic, Hyun finished. The room went silent. Director Kim pulled up more files. Classified documents that showed decades of hidden research. Human scientists working in secret, pushing boundaries that everyone said were impossible. The U.S. Defiance wasn't just a ship. It was proof of human potential. A technological marvel that showed what humans could do when they were pushed to the extreme. What happens now? Hyun asked. The officials looked at each other. No one spoke for a long moment. Now, Admiral Chen said slowly, we decide the fate of humanity. The weight of that statement hung in the air. One ship, one impossible piece of technology, could change everything humans understood about their place in the universe. The U.S. Defiance waited, silent, powerful. A secret that was about to change everything. Dr. Elena Kim stood in the ship's neural connection chamber. This was her final modification, her most dangerous idea yet. The room was small. White walls, complex machines everywhere. Cables that looked more like living nerves than technology. In the center, a single chair waited. Are you sure about this? Jae-sung asked. He watched her carefully. Elena smiled. A tired, determined smile. Someone has to prove it can work. The plan was simple and completely impossible. She wanted to create a direct neural link between human consciousness and the ship's quantum AI. Not just a connection, a true merging. Most scientists said it was suicide. The human brain couldn't handle quantum-level information processing. The mind would break, shatter into pieces. Elena knew better. She sat in the chair. Hundreds of tiny neural connectors waited to link with her brain. Each one was smaller than a human hair. Each one represented years of research. Begin connection sequence, she told the ship's eye. The first moments were painful. Information flooded her brain faster than thought. She could see everything. The entire ship, every system, every possible movement. Multiple realities happening at the same time. Most people would have gone mad. Elena organized the information, sorted it, understood it. The ship changed. Its systems began to shift. No longer just a machine controlled by an eye. Now something more. A living entity that combined human creativity with quantum-level processing. Jae-sung watched in amazement. Elena's body didn't move, but the ship around them came alive in ways no one had ever seen. Weapon systems became smarter, faster, more adaptive. The ship could now predict enemy movements before they even happened, not through simple calculations, but through a truly organic understanding of potential futures. Connection stable, the AI reported. But it wasn't just the AI speaking anymore. Elena's voice mixed with it. Two consciousnesses, one human, one artificial, working together. The neural link showed something incredible. Humans weren't limited by their biological forms. They could expand, grow, become something more. Outside the ship, space itself seemed to react. Quantum fields bent, Potential realities twisted and changed. "We are more than we were," Alina said. Her voice came from everywhere. The ship, the communication systems, the very air around them. Jae-sung felt a chill. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough. This was evolution. The U.S. Defiance was no longer just a ship. It was a living proof of human potential, a bridge between what was possible and what humans could imagine. Alina's last thought before complete integration was simple: we are not finished. We are just beginning. The ship continued its journey, no longer just a machine, not quite human, something entirely new, a promise of what humanity could become. The final battle looked like the end of everything. Hundreds of Orion collective ships filled the space around the human solar system. They had come with one goal: total destruction. Years of hatred, years of viewing humans as a pest to be removed from the galaxy. The U.S. Defiance stood alone. Captain Hyun Park watched the incoming fleet. Most captains would be scared. She was calm, focused. "Are we ready?" she asked. The ship's response came from everywhere, not just the AI, not just Alina's integrated consciousness, but something new, something that was both human and more than human. "We are prepared," the voice said. The first wave of attacks came quickly. Hundreds of energy weapons, missile spreads that could destroy entire planets, quantum disruptors that could tear apart molecular structures. The Defiance didn't just defend. It transformed. Its hull became something alive. Not metal, not organic, something in between. Weapons that should have destroyed the ship simply disappeared. Absorbed, transformed into energy. One Orion battleship tried to use a weapon that had destroyed entire civilizations, a quantum cascade generator that could unravel atomic structures. The Defiance caught the weapon, studied it in milliseconds, and sent it back. The battleship vanished, completely. Alien strategists watched in total confusion. Their most advanced computers couldn't understand what was happening. How do you fight something that learns faster than you can attack? More ships came, waves of destruction that would have ended any other civilization. The Defiance moved differently now, not just through space, through possibilities. It existed in multiple realities at the same time. Attacking, defending, predicting, changing. "We are not just defending," the ship's consciousness said. "We are teaching." Each attack was a lesson. Each moment a demonstration of what humans could do when they pushed beyond known limits. Alien commanders began to understand. This wasn't just a battle. This was a statement. Humans were not weak, not primitive. They were something else entirely. Hours passed. The battle continued. But it wasn't a battle anymore. It was a demonstration. The Orion Collective's entire fleet slowly realized something terrible. They were not fighting a ship. They were fighting an idea. The idea of human potential. By the battle's end, hundreds of alien ships had been destroyed, not through brutal force, but through intelligence, adaptation, a way of thinking that the aliens had never seen before. "Message to remaining ships," the Defiance announced. Every communication channel in the battle zone opened. "Humanity is not your enemy," the voice said. "Humanity is your future." The remaining alien ships stopped, confused, afraid. They had come to destroy. They were leaving having been completely redefined. The U.S. Defiance continued its journey, watching, learning, changing everything humans understood about their place in the universe. 1 year after the Great Battle, everything had changed. The U.S. Defiance sat in orbit around a new human colony. Not a military base, not a research station. Something different. A place of hope. Captain Hyun Park walked through the ship's bridge. It wasn't really a bridge anymore. More like a living space where human and machine existed together. Alina Kim's consciousness was everywhere. Part of the ship, part of something bigger. "We've received the latest reports," the ship's voice said. It was no longer just an AI. Not just Alina. Something new. Alien races were changing. The Galactic Council was different now. Humans were no longer seen as a minor species to be ignored. They were recognized as something else, a potential, a promise. New technologies were spreading, not through war, through cooperation. The Defiance had shown something important. Technology wasn't about destruction. It was about understanding. Jae-Sung Lee worked at a control station, but it wasn't really a station, more like a connection point. His mind linked with the ship's systems, sharing, learning, growing. "We've been invited to the Galactic Peace Conference," the ship announced. Hyun smiled. A conference, not a war meeting, not a strategy session. A place to talk, to share, to understand. The Defiance had changed everything. Not through force, but through a simple idea. Humans were capable of more than anyone believed. Other species were beginning to understand. The quantum technologies developed for the ship were now being shared. Medical systems that could heal impossible injuries. Communication networks that broke down language barriers. Energy systems that could transform entire planets. "What do you think?" Hyun asked the ship. The ship was more than a machine now. More than an eye. A partner. "We are evolving," the ship responded. "Humanity is evolving." Outside, the new colony grew. Buildings that could change shape. Farms that could grow food in impossible conditions. Technologies that seemed like magic to previous generations. The Orion Collective was different now. No longer a threat. Now a potential ally. They had seen what humans could do. Not through destruction, but through creativity. Through an ability to imagine beyond current limits. Hyun remembered the old research facility on Mars. The forgotten ship. The secret that could have remained hidden forever. "We almost missed this," she said softly. The ship's response came from everywhere, but we didn't. Nearby, alien ships from different species moved together. Trading, sharing, learning. The battle that everyone thought would end humanity had become something else entirely. A beginning. The U.S. Defiance continued its journey. No longer just a warship. No longer just a technological marvel. A living proof of human potential. The universe watched, and for the first time, it understood. Humanity was not a species to be feared. Humanity was a species to be understood.